When you learn how to humble yourself, 1 Peter 5 and 6 says, humble yourself, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, so that he might exalt you in the proper time. When you learn how to bow out, the result is promotion. I feel God.
Blood of Jesus.
I feel him in this place because there's a low place that you got to get with God. There's a low place that said that he stepped out of his glory and he stepped into the earth, and there was a place where he bowed to the Father's will. There was a place in the garden where he said, let this cup pass me. Oh, but he bowed down and said, not my will, Father, but your will be done. He prayed until blood came pushing out of his vessel. There was a place called bowing. Grace is marked by your humility. How low will you go? Are you willing to get dirty with God? Are you willing to get down and close your mouth and just bow in his presence? Humility makes room for promotion. Abigail, she was graced with wisdom. She was graced with humility. Last one, she was graced with boldness. Women had no place to approach men in that time. Talk about culturally. Had no grace.
Jesus.
They weren't allowed to do things outside of their husband. It said that she didn't even tell her husband where she was going. Out of line. But when you navigate under the Father's grace, he'll open doors that men try to close in your face. You have to realize this. If you're going to navigate in grace, you can't be fearful. 2 Timothy 1:7 said, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind.
Yes.
Fear is not a residual of Christ. There's a boldness that he's placing on his sons and daughters. That in order for you to navigate through these difficult situations, you're going to have to stand in the truth of the Lord. That's the kind of boldness you need, not just self-righteousness. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the boldness of the Lord. That my Father, he owns the hills and the mountains. The earth is the Lord and